the question of organic farming is an interesting one, and I'm constantly being asked when I have new clients come along who want help with growing their tea. I say, do you want to be organic or do you want to be sustainable? I used to say, do you want to be organic or do you want to be conventional? But now I say sustainable. And we'll come to what the difference is in a moment. But do you want to be organic? And they inevitably say yes. Now, if we look at the financial situation, if you have organic growing of tea, you're going to lose yield by perhaps 30% compared with growing it conventionally. 30, even 40% drop in production. And why? Because it's so difficult to give tea what it wants when you're doing it organically. What tea wants, because it's a leaf crop, is nitrogen. And it's very difficult to give it that huge amount of nitrogen that it needs. Every ton of tea you take off a field, takes off 45 kilograms of nitrogen, which is, doing a rough calculation, is about 120 kilograms of nitrogen fertilizer you have to replace that loss for every ton. It's very, very difficult to do that using compost or vermiculture or manure. So the basic fact is you're going to lose yield. Now, are you going to get a better price for it? Looking around, comparing organic tea to conventionally grown tea, the premium that you will get as a grower is about 15% or 20% for an organic tea. You've got a loss of 30 to 40% or a gain of 15 to 20%. It's a no-brainer. You know, I tell people if they persist, I tell them two things. I say, recognize that you are doing this with your heart, not with your head. And the best thing to do when you get started is to start conventionally, start your nursery conventionally, start your planting conventionally, get your little plants up to maturity, and then convert to organic. Because where you need the conventional inputs most is when you are in that early stage. When you want to, if you get a problem, you want a quick solution. Organic solutions are always slow. So in a nursery, you will find that aphids or blight will romp through the nursery before you have time to implement an organic solution. So that's my advice. Now, in the real world, is organic tea increasing? It varies by the area. India, particularly Darjeeling, has a lot of organic gardens. Some of their customers are insistent on organic. They sell a lot to Germany, and the Germans are very keen on organic. Biodynamic growing was invented in Germany, although I think it was by an Austrian, but Germany, Austria, that's where the biodynamic system was invented. So they're keen, and most of the Darjeeling crop goes to that area. India also has a fair few organic gardens, but in Africa, for instance, very few indeed. There are a few in China coming along, but it's not a trend, isn't it? Well, it's not an upcoming trend. There's demand, but it's not a huge demand.